What up, y'all? Welcome to the Pilot Car Life channel. What I'm doing tonight is I'm about to answer one of my subscribers' questions they had about how you get started, how you get into a pilot car, how you get into the pilot car business or whatever. Okay, first things first. Well, me personally, a lot of people well, I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but the people I've talked to that's doing this, they had family members that taught them the ropes, kind of, kind of showed them what they needed to do and how to do it. But me personally, I had to do the research myself. Like I had to do all the research myself. Rather be
videos.
Watching YouTube videos, stuff like that, and talking to other people, whatever, other drivers. But how I got started or whatever, to answer your question, to make it make more sense or whatever, I can tell you what all you need or whatever to get started. But then again, it also depends like on your state also. For instance, I live in Texas, right? And if I want to run in just Texas or whatever, first of all, you gotta have for starters, you gotta have a reliable vehicle or whatever. Because you don't want to get on you don't want to get out, you don't want to get on the job and, you got to have a reliable vehicle. That's number one. Number two, you got to have the what is that thing called? Let me look it up. Hold on. What's that place?
Washington. Was it Washington?
Yeah, you got to have your pilot car certification. And I got mine from Washington. No, Evergreen. Yeah, Evergreen Safety Council. What you're gonna do is you go online and sign up for that to get your permit, and it's I think it's like $300, and they're gonna schedule you for like maybe a week or two out, and they're gonna send you some some information through the mail, like a study guide and stuff like that, and you're gonna you're gonna take like an 8-hour Zoom class. It's gonna be like you and probably like 20 or 30 other people. Y'all gonna all be on kind of like a conference call, but it's just a class for one day. It's 8 hours, and after you complete that 8-hour course, they're gonna send you your certification through the mail. Because the thing about that is, like, if you get stopped at a way station or whatever, and the DOT decide they want to inspect the truck driver, you'll get inspected sometime as well. Because I've been inspected twice in one day. I was doing a load going to Seattle and got inspected in Oklahoma, and then went into Colorado and got inspected again. But and they're gonna check and make sure that you have the
permit.
That permit, yeah.
And proper equipment.
Yeah, and proper equipment. But for sure, as far as the permit go, you gotta have that. I know for sure Texas, it's required in Texas, and I'm pretty sure it's required in other states as well. But I know where I live at in Texas is definitely required, and that's not including permits from other states, because other states have additional requirements and permits or whatever. Like Louisiana, they have you gotta have different insurance. You got to have different insurance policies from the regular policies that Texas require. Like
standard being $1 million.
Yeah, you got to have you got to have like a $1 million policy, but but Louisiana, they require an additional policy or whatever. So, matter of fact, let me see. Where's that other? Let me see. I might just leave this out. Louisiana is going to require an additional.
It's liability.
Yeah, they require property damage, $500,000, liability coverage, $500,000, and workers' compensation. But when I talked to them, cause I just got my permit renewed, but they didn't mention nothing about the workers' liability or whatever, about the workers' compensation insurance. So maybe they not enforcing it or whatever. But yeah, you're gonna definitely need that Louisiana permit if you plan on running through the state of Louisiana. Also, New Mexico. If you run through the state of New Mexico, before you
an additional permit.
yeah, additional permit, and before you can escort, let's say if you're going to load, and they got to go through New Mexico, you're going to have your driver stop. If you don't have the permit already, you're going to have your driver stop before you get to that scale in New Mexico and cross that state line.
You cannot cross the state line with the load.
You cannot cross the state line with the load if you don't have the New Mexico permit. So your driver would have to stop, and you would have to go up to that New Mexico weigh station or whatever, and they would have to inspect and make sure you got all the proper equipment, insurance, and all that good stuff, and then they give you the permit. And that permit for New Mexico lasts for a year. And Louisiana permit also lasts for a year. Also, and while we're mentioning permits, you gotta have, like I said, you gotta have, besides the permit to get started, you gotta have, I mean not the permit, the certification from Evergreen. You gotta have it to get started. You gotta have a reliable vehicle to get started. You gotta have the proper equipment, which is, you gotta have you got these 4 basic things. You cannot be out here without a good CB, and I'm not talking about a handheld CB, because that thing right there is garbage. And not only that, the batteries die, especially if it's sitting in your car in cold weather or whatever. But I'm talking about a Cobra, and you got to have it grounded to your vehicle with a good antenna or whatever, a good antenna. They put out good, you got to have something like that, because you don't want to be. I started out with this old weak antenna, and I'm sitting here talking to nobody, and I'm working with a group of other vehicles, and they couldn't even hear what I was saying. So you got to have a good antenna, good CB with it. You got to have a oversized. You ain't necessarily got to have I have a top sign on this vehicle right here, the oversized load sign. I have a top sign or whatever. You ain't got to have a top sign, but that's what I got or whatever. Because at the end of the day, them top signs, you burn a lot of fuel with them top signs. But you got to have the oversized signs on the front and back, and you got to have your vehicle decal or whatever. You got to have decal.
Information, company.
Yeah, you got to have the company name,
number,
phone number, and the city and state where it's located. Because I'm gonna tell you something about it. I done seen cars out here that don't have none of that information on them. And we went through Oklahoma, right?
Oklahoma.
Yeah, we was going through Oklahoma, and we got that. The time I'm telling you, we got inspected. The guy, it was a guy that was with us. He was the lead car, the hot pole. He got a ticket for not having his car decal with the. So he had the police. The state trooper, whatever, whoever do the inspections. They made him write it out with the, like the stuff that you can. When you go to the car dealership, the chalk or whatever. They made him write his information on the side of the his company information on his back window, like right here. Yep. So you gotta have that or whatever. So make sure you have the proper Evergreen permit. Those 4 things I just mentioned. Light bar. You gotta have a good light bar with ambers.
Not necessarily. They can use the strobe lights, but the bar is probably.
Yeah, you can use the strobe lights as well. But like the thing about it is, you gotta have. If you use the strobes are the ones that like the cones, right?
Beacons.
Yeah, you gotta have beacons, but you gotta have 2 on each side, and 1 in the middle, like a strobe in the middle. And I don't think it matters how big the strobe is in the middle if you got the 2 beacons on the outside. But me, to simplify it, I just got a long 48-inch light bar, just to make it easy. And also, this is for my Texas people. In Texas, you allowed to flash, besides the amber lights, you're allowed to flash like white and what's the other one? Blues, along with your ambers. Do not go into Oklahoma flashing any other light besides amber. Matter of fact, once you leave, don't even go to any other state. Oh, hold on, y'all. Don't go to any other state flashing no other strobe lights except for amber, because like I said, in Texas you allowed to flash white strobes or whatever and blue strobes along with your ambers, but that's only for Texas. If you go to another state, especially Oklahoma, you're gonna get a ticket. I'm telling you, do not flash. And this is for my Texas people, because I know in Texas you're allowed to flash other lights. And I've seen, remember that guy we ran with? This dude car looked like a Christmas tree. Yeah, so
Oh yeah.
Man. Yeah, so.
The thing with that key thing, what we learned in research, what they'll see it themselves, is you don't want to put that much lighting on your vehicle where you're drawing attention to yourself.
Exactly. You draw attention away from the load. They focusing more on your car than what they need to be focused on. Because really your car is just a tool to help them protect the public. You want them to focus on that oversized load. You know what I'm saying? Not on your car. You don't want them to be drawn to your car with all these flashy lights. You want them to pay attention to. You want them to be aware that there's an oversized load in front of them. Your job is to protect the public or whatever, pretty much, or whatever. Make them aware of what's that, or whatever. They don't act like that though. Like they act like you there to block the, because you're gonna have to block traffic and this and that. And
you know what you have to go through.
Yeah, you gotta have thick skin. You gotta have thick skin out here, because you're gonna have to cut people off. But your job at the end of the day is protect. It's supposed to be a buffer zone between that load. I'm getting sidetracked, but let me get back to what I was saying. Okay, to get started, because I'm getting sidetracked talking about other stuff. Make sure that you have that permit from Evergreen Safety Council. It's $300. It's 8 hours long. You're gonna take a Zoom course, and you can look it up online.
With an exam at the end.
You're gonna have an exam at the end. Yep, and you gotta pass that exam. Otherwise, you get one more retry for free. And if you pass, you good. If you fail, you're gonna have to take that pay and take that 8-hour course all over again, and it's boring as hell. So that being said, you're gonna get that permit. So you're gonna pass. Everybody gonna pass and get their permit. After that, you're gonna like I said, you're gonna make sure you have $1 million insurance policy, commercial insurance policy, and whatever, for whatever state you live in. You're gonna make sure you have a reliable vehicle. Make sure that you got a good CB so you can communicate with the truck driver. Make sure you have your oversized signs, whether it be the front, back, or the top. Make sure you have a proper strobe light, ambers only, and make sure that you have
company information
on the side of your vehicle. Make sure you get your vehicle decaled properly, because you don't want to be out here looking a hot mess. And also, let me say this: if you're not under load, make sure you don't have your signs on your vehicle. That's annoying. Like if you're not escorting nobody, don't be one of them lazy drivers. Like if you're not under a load and you're not escorting a vehicle, take
and the flags.
Yeah, take them flags off. Oh yeah, and the flags. Make sure you gotta have the two flags pointed at a what's that, a 90? What's that?
I said 90-degree angle.
90-degree angle?
No.
45-degree angle?
Somewhere off in there.
I have to look that one up. But yeah. Take those flags down and take them oversized signs down off your vehicle if you're not escorting the load. Cause that's annoying. They got a YouTube channel. You're gonna end up on it. I mean, they got a Facebook channel. Your car gonna end up on that Facebook channel if you out here doing stuff like that. Yeah. So you got the equipment. You got your insurance. So you get your insurance. I mean, you get the permit, you get your insurance, you get your reliable vehicle, and do those 4 things to it: lights, the flags, the decals, a good CB, and oversized signs or whatever. You get your permits, like I said about New Mexico, Louisiana. Let me see what else. Oh, and if you go to Florida, also you got to take a defensive driving course, and that's required for, I think it's like $49, and I think it lasts for, let me see. I think it lasts a year. I'm looking at it. It don't show the expiration date. Yeah. And then you gotta for Kansas, you gotta get an escort certification, and theirs lasts for like 3 years, I think, 2 or 3 years. But theirs is easy, cause look, a lot of these certifications, you like, okay, I'm gonna tell you what, okay, if you go through Progressive, you gotta have $1 million insurance policy. Let me tell you how much these permits cost or whatever, cause they really not that much. The insurance gonna cost you, gonna be one of your biggest expenses, and your equipment and stuff like that. But let me see. Like my permit for Louisiana was $20. That defensive driver course for Florida was like $49. For Kansas, I didn't have to pay nothing. I don't think I had to pay nothing for New Mexico either, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. This Evergreen Safety Council permit, I told you $300. The permit for Georgia was only $2, and for Georgia, really, it's just an amber light permit. It's just a permit to be able to flash your amber lights when you go through their state, and it's only $2. So don't even sweat Georgia. Really don't sweat none of these because they're not hard to get. In Nevada, you also got to have a amber light permit, and I think theirs was $2, right?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, but it was cheap though. And also for Kansas, you got to have if you escort through the state of Kansas, you're gonna have to have an escort pre-trip checklist. You just print it out. I print it out on the computer, and I haven't escorted no loads through Kansas, but I got it just in case I do. Okay, and besides that, what else? Am I missing anything?
I can't think of anything right now.
I'm thinking, because I don't want to miss nothing or whatever. But we're going to run it by again for people that want to get started or whatever. So again, I'm gonna go by it again. If you want to get started, you got to make sure you have a good, reliable vehicle for starters. Make sure you get I've been driving all day, so
you
my
don't
bad.
need a CDL.
You don't need a CDL. Like I said, make sure you have a good, reliable vehicle. You don't need a CDL. Make sure you get your certification through Evergreen Safety Council for $300. It's an 8-hour course. Make sure you get your liability insurance. Make sure you get you a good Cobra CB and a good strong antenna. Make sure you get you a strobe light, an amber light. Make sure you get you oversized signs for front and back. Make sure you get your decals on the side of your vehicle, the company name, phone number, city, state. Make sure you get your flags, to go on top. And the permits that I mentioned, or whatever. Now, if you plan on, let's say you live in Texas or whatever, and you plan on not leaving up out of Texas, that's cool. You ain't got to get the permits for the other states or whatever, but who's to say that, it's going to, sometimes, like, if you go find your load off the load board, sometimes it don't even be loads from Texas on the load board.
And besides, the more distance, the more pay in most cases.
Exactly, that part. So yeah, a lot of these loads or whatever, like I can run local and make my money if we wanted. We can run local and make money or whatever, make our money or whatever. But I'd like to do the long distance too, because sometimes I get tired of looking at the same stuff. So right now we on a load. We about to take a load to Virginia, to Norfolk, Virginia, or whatever. And right now we're in Arkansas. And also, yeah, if you can, like, cause you get paid overnights or whatever. And I'm gonna tell you something, them hotels, I ain't gonna lie, cause we be staying in hotels too, but right now we camping out in a truck or whatever, cause them hotels get expensive. So if you can set your vehicle up to make it comfortable enough to where you can sleep in your vehicle, do that. And you can use that money, like the money that they pay for overnights, you can use that for your gas money. You know what I'm saying? That help.
For dining expenses, all that.
Dining expenses and everything or whatever. So I would say, yeah, if you can't use that money, stay in your vehicle, make it comfortable for you. That way you ain't got to pay for a hotel room. You know what I'm saying? And you can save that money that they pay you for the overnights. And also, it's winter time. Make sure you. There we go, y'all. Here we go again. Make sure you keep water in your make sure you keep your vehicle don't let your, it's winter. If you stay down south, okay, that's cool. But if you go up north in the winter time and you know you like to run up north, make sure you don't let your vehicle go below half full. This is an old trucker. I used to drive trucks, and that's an old trucker's rule. You don't let your vehicles go below half full in fuel or whatever. Don't let it go below half full.
Maintenance.
Make sure you keep up your maintenance with your tires, and make sure you keep a jack with you and a spare tire. You don't want to be stuck on the side of the road and not without a spare. Make sure you keep your windshield washer fluid full, because when you get up on them snow-covered roads, that windshield is hard to keep clean. Make sure you keep water in your vehicle and non-perishable foods, just in case you get stuck on the side of the road. And make sure you keep blankets in your vehicle, just in case you're stuck on the side of the road and you get to idling and you run out of fuel. So it's stuff like that that matter, you know. So yeah, that's stuff like that that keep you alive. You know what I'm saying? Don't let your vehicle go below half. Remember these 4 things. Don't let your however many it is. Don't let your vehicle go below half full in fuel. Keep blankets in your car. Keep water and non-perishable foods in your car, just in case you get stuck on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and if you can, get you some snow chains too, from like O'Reilly's or Walgreens or something. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Walgreens.
I mean Walgreens.
You tired?
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Tired.
From AutoZone and O'Reilly. What the fuck? I say Walgreens. Damn. Damn. I'm gonna go in there and ask for some snow chains tomorrow. They're gonna be like,
yeah, ask them for some blinker fluid while you in there.
Yeah, blinker fluid. They're gonna be like, man, they tripping. But if I hopefully I was able to answer y'all questions, answer the subscriber questions or whatever.
Oh shit.
What the
Do you see that? What the hell?
He on a 4-wheeler.
What the fuck?
Dude on a 4-wheeler.
And no lights. Where the hell did he come
Man,
from?
he went straight across. We in Arkansas, and yeah, this dude is it's 2 in the morning. Some dude just went shot across the field on a 4-wheeler.
No lights, no nothing.
No, and it's cold outside too. Well, for us it's cold. It might not be cold.
20. Wait.
Yeah.
I can be precise.
But yeah, man, that's all.
No,
you know.
actually,
It's 39 degrees, and somebody just rolled by in the pitch dark with no lights on their 4-wheeler, and it's 39 degrees, and they just shot by in the field behind the truck stop.
That wasn't on some creepy.
That was creepy right there. But I hope I was able to answer somebody's question that they may have had or whatever. I try to put out information. Like I said, I'm still learning, so I'm not an expert. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to help somebody. They might want the information or whatever. I'm not an expert at this. I'm still learning. I learn something new every day or whatever. So I hope I was able to answer y'all questions. And I want to welcome everybody to the channel. I should have said that in the beginning. And I also want to welcome all my subscribers. And I want to welcome all my new subscribers to the channel as well. Make sure y'all like that. Make sure y'all hit that like button also, because that'll help the channel grow. Make sure you leave a comment. Like I said, I answer the questions. I know it's been a while since I made a video too, but I'm gonna start making content again. I kind of like, you know, I have another channel I'll be trying to push, so I have a couple of YouTube channels that I'm pushing. So don't think I didn't forgot about y'all. Make sure y'all like, make sure y'all subscribe, and until then, I'm gonna talk to y'all later.